I'll do this. I'm working through it. I never read this one out. I read the first part of this a couple months ago at Pegasus. I never read this one. This was, I was in Oakland Terminal waiting for a plane, reading Tony Sabella's The Kid in America. It was an amazing book. And this was kind of like I was channeling Tony for a minute. So, and I just, would like to read this in honor of Scott Warnberg and Mike Taylor, two fellow writers who passed away this last year. They were huge mentors to me, both of them. It is the prominent moment that counts in the record book, but all those other moments had families too. They felt things, did things, some ordinary, some strange, some defy all explanation. No one wants to have to explain this stuff that happens. They want it to be self-explanatory. They want it to sell, sold. Gone on too far on a cool breeze, blown at a cold time, when the latent prints were left behind in the form of icicle daggers through the heart. Nothing left for the crime channel, or the court TV, or the Kardashian shopping network, or even the cooking channels to stew up into some blend of cathartic bonanza, happy cowboy ending on the rootin' tootin' Ponderosa, where the little doggies are not afraid of the hoss that walks backwards toward them. I told the maitre d' at the airport deli to make me a Reuben with corned beef and mustard, and he told me he did not like poetry, which I dug to mean he didn't like poems with the poets in them, which I dug wild. The wild I always being about me is a drag to read, every poet being an I already. It's too much sometimes, do you agree? Because I don't want to be here. I would rather be there watching the hitch-up happen in the common man's happenstance, although the cold is still more common than anything. Could you close that window, please? And don't, under any circumstances, type bomb in this moment as the taxi down the runway has been postponed because of the pre-existing condition so as not to jeopardize all the clever things that they can do with Social Security. Now that there is an election going on, they can erase the last remnants of slavery, but don't tell those guys over there because they don't seem like they would understand. And that might make things worse for the rest of them. Know what I mean? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. This is where the asterisk would stop you and give you some supplemental information about how low can we go in this dick-chopping, bushwhacking contest that has become the digression of the times, while wild billionaires run around with the idea that there is plenty more where that came from, whatever that was. And don't worry too much because you are going to bring the ratings down and we might lose the Asian subtitles that are necessary to keep investment potential up as well as trade agreements agreeable. Why shouldn't a third of the planet own everything? Just so there would be a new sheriff that knew the score. The time machine has been running overtime as the wheels of fortune turn and twist in the wind of no particular determination so as to proliferate a new, more virile form of communication that involves human centrifuges that could produce new, clear wintertime landscapes that could mean Christ massed all year round for the kids. They'll love that, is the word on the street. No more Happy New Year's will be needed. So put away all the noisemakers and quit rocking the boat so much because we are all in this life raft together and it ain't going to get easier until you all learn to go easy into the night as the blades are now ready to slice and dice all the needy peoples into neat little ribbons that will be tied into bows on the everyday present under the never-ending tree of lifetime subscriptions to a more posterior standing in a community of what is passing for cultural stimulation these days. They are ready now for boarding.